The 2026 NFL Combine is in the books. So on today's show, a 7-round New York Giants mock draft. We're going to dive into that. No trades on this one. I am just going to pick players at the slotted picks the New York Giants have. But if you want a mock draft with trades, hit that thumbs up icon. Say we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get you that. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate every single person for clicking on today's video. Our first 7-round mock draft. After being in Indianapolis for the Combine all week last week, I feel like I am finally ready to do this. This is where the New York Giants pick in the upcoming draft. Some of these selections may slot back a couple as some more compensatory picks are going to really start to roll in for the other 31 teams in the NFL. I don't expect the Giants to get any comp picks this year. They'll pick at 5 in the first round. They'll pick at 37 in round 2. Then they essentially don't pick for another 70 picks. They'll have a pick in the 4th round, a pick in the 5th round, and then 3 6th-round selections. Without further ado, let's dive into it. I also use the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator. So if you're mad saying, Marsh, this guy would never be there, go complain to them. I'm just using the simulator that they provide. Fernando Mendoza went number 1. I think you could write that in Sharpie at this point. Arvell Reese. They're now calling him Vel Reese at the Combine. The linebacker out of Ohio State. He went number 2 to the Jets. And then my heart was broken as Sonny Styles goes number 3 overall to the Arizona Cardinals. And then with the 4th overall pick, Jeremiyah Love, the superstar home run hitting running back, goes number 4 to the Tennessee Titans to team up with Brian Daboll, which means the Giants are on the clock at number 5. Before I share who I would pick with the Giants in this selection, I want to hear from you in the comments section. As the draft went, Mendoza, Reese, Styles, Love, and you were the GM of the Giants at number 5. Who would you pick in this spot? Sound off for me in the comments section. With the 5th pick, I have the New York Giants selecting Caleb Downs, the safety and defensive chess piece out of Ohio State. Look, I really want Sonny Styles on the Giants, but if the board falls this way, I will have no problem with selecting Caleb Downs. After getting to speak to him in person and getting to talk to other people that have done their homework on Downs, I feel even more confident that he at number 5 would be a home run pick. 6 foot, 205. He can line up just about anywhere on the football field, and he will make plays at any single spot. Dane Brugler, who I think is the best in the business when it comes to the NFL draft, he has Caleb Downs as number 4 on his big board, saying a human missile. Downs jumps off the tape because of his fast, competitive play style. Despite his average size, he is an elite tackler who fills with impressive body control and strength at contact. He showed the same high-level reaction skills in coverage. Downs sees the field like a chessboard. He is one of the better safeties I have ever evaluated. Mel Kiper Jr. has him number 6 on his big board, saying he is basically an extension of the defensive coordinator. His football knowledge shows in his play. It's obvious when you watch his film in the Ohio State defense. But what really impressed me is how he picked up Nick Saban's system as a 2023 freshman at Alabama before transferring. Nick Saban said this about Caleb Downs back in the fall of 2024, saying this guy is one of the most complete people I have ever had the opportunity to coach. He's a great person. He's a great student. He's a phenomenal football player. Great, competitive. His competitive IQ, how he responds on the field and reacts instinctively, it's in the top tier of all players of all time. Like that last line, how he responds on the field and reacts instinctively is in the top tier of all players of all time. Like, it's hard to watch the tape of Caleb Downs, but you know what? Nah, I don't want him. I don't want him. He's so good. He dominated as a true freshman at Alabama. He then leaves the SEC to go to Ohio State, wins a national championship in 2024, and then 2025, he follows that season up with another production-filled campaign. The way that he carried himself around the NFL Combine, the way that he spoke with confidence, and like, you know when a guy knows that he is that guy, and Caleb Downs knows that he is that guy. I know some people say, Marshall, you can't take a safety at number 5. And you know what? I'll be like, well, you probably don't really understand what Caleb Downs does on defense. He is a defensive weapon. You want to line him up at free safety? He's done that 920 times in his college career. You want him to line up as a slot corner? He could do that. He's done that 574 times. You want him to play in the box as a box safety? He's done that north of 850 times. And if you want him to play off the edge, get after the quarterback, he can do that. He's done that 76 times in his college career. He's not just a safety. He is a defensive weapon and a defensive chess piece. He could be a guy in a big-time game that you line up in the slot on a tight end. It's like, take him out of the game. Don't let him be an impact player. You play a San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs, and you want to have a guy that can match up on Christian McCaffrey. He can do that. This is a serious, serious football player with a serious football IQ. Most importantly, he's a leader, he's a culture setter, and he demands winning habits from his football team. The Giants could use a guy like that. And John Harbaugh, he loves him. Harbaugh came out a couple of weeks ago saying, big fan. If we could take a Hall of Fame safety at number 5, we would love to do that. I asked Caleb Downs, what was it like hearing John Harbaugh say those things about you? Said it was an honor and it was a privilege. And he would love to, and he kind of paused and then caught his breath and laughed and said, it'd be an honor to meet him. I think he was going to say it'd be an honor to play for him, but I might have been reaching on that one. If Caleb Downs is there at 5, the Giants will give him serious consideration to be the pick. Round 2, pick 37, I was back on the clock, and I selected Christian Miller, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. The Giants met with him at the NFL Combine. I got to talk to Christian Miller there, and I fell in love with the player. He is someone who I think is going to be a better NFL player than he was a college football player. This is someone that was kind of held back, I feel like, because of that Georgia defense. Our first graphic said 6 foot. He's 6'4", by the way. Still 21 years old. And like a lot of those Georgia defenders, especially on the D-line, they keep them fresh and they move them around. You could see by the Pro Football Focus grades, he was elite against the run. Top 10 in all of college football in that department. He also can get after the quarterback a little bit at 6'4", 310 pounds, and he was really, really good, guys. Dane Brugler has him as the 37th best player in this class, saying an energetic, reliable big man. Miller has an NFL body and helps disrupt an offense's ground game. Like most Georgia D linemen, he was kept fresh by playing in a heavy rotation and is still learning how to sequence a pass rush, but he has the tools to add immediate value to an NFL front. I made it a point to ask John Harbaugh and to ask Joe Schoen, is it going to be a priority to stop the run and build a team that will stop the run? And they made it abundantly clear it will be. And selecting a defensive tackle in round 2, someone like Christian Miller, that would go a long, long way. If you could have a defensive tackle room of Dexter Lawrence, Christian Miller, Darius Alexander, and you sign another veteran, you actually have 4 legit NFL dudes. But to be honest with you, I think the Giants are most likely going to trade down from number 37 overall. With them not being back on the clock until pick 104, I just don't see a way where they don't try to trade down, pick up more draft capital, and try to plug multiple holes on this team. If Miller is there at 37, I absolutely would take him. I just think the Giants are going to trade down. I think that is going to be a little bit more likely. We'll talk about the other picks that we made in this 7-round Giants mock draft. First, though, I got to give a huge shout-out to today's sponsor, and that is GLD. Shout out to GLD. Appreciate them for sponsoring today's show. They've got an awesome deal. When you use that promo code CHAT at GLD.com, you're going to get 50% off your order. 50% off your order with code CHAT at GLD.com. Every guy has those go-to pieces, right? The shoes that go with everything, the one pair of jeans that fit just right, the T-shirt that always looks clean no matter what you pair it with. You don't overthink those pieces. You just grab them, and they work every single time. But most guys are missing one thing from that lineup, jewelry. That's where GLD comes in. They make the kind of pieces that become part of your routine. not just something you save for special occasions or once in a while. Just clean, quality pieces that instantly make your fit look more fresh. Shout out to GLD. They hooked me up with this awesome chain and this awesome pendant, New York Knicks styles. They have deals with the NBA and the NFL. So if you want a Giants pendant to go with your chain, you are in luck. This isn't cheap stuff. GLD only uses real gold. Every stone is hand set, and their production process is on a completely different level. You can see it. You can feel it. This is one of those pieces you put on once, and then it never comes off. They've got everything, too. Chains, pendants, bracelets, even a nice selection of watches. Work hard and change the game. For a limited time only, new customers are getting an insane deal. Use code CHAT to get 50% off at GLD.com. That's 50% off with code CHAT at GLD.com. After your purchase, the last where you heard about them, please support our show and tell them Chat Sports sent you. All right, so after you waited 70 picks to go by, you're back on the clock at pick 105, and I am selecting Malik Muhammad, the cornerback out of the University of Texas. 6 foot, 188 pounds. The Giants need an outside corner, and I think Malik Muhammad can grow into that role. Do I think that he's ready to be a starting corner in this league right away? Maybe not, but with some proper development, learning from Denard Wilson, learning from the defensive back coaches the New York Giants have, and John Harbaugh, I see a guy that could be a starting boundary corner in this league. Dane Brugler has him as the 90th best player in this class, saying Muhammad is a good-sized athlete who isn't shy about throwing his hands into receivers to jam at the line. He doesn't have top-tier speed, but he can mask that with smooth transition skills and coverage confidence to stay within arm length of receivers. I like that about his tape. He is aggressive. He is physical. What he lacks in weight, he makes up for it in physicality. He wants to be that press corner. The Giants are going to play a lot more press under Denard Wilson. I thought I saw him make some good plays in the run game as well. I think that'll be important for corners in this evaluation process. He had a good year at Texas this year. When he was targeted, only allowed a completion percentage of 61.8%, allowed less than 170 yards on the season, only gave up 1 touchdown, 6 PBUs to 2 INTs, and he allowed a quarterback rating of 59.4 when targeted. In round 4, you got to rely on the tape study. I know the Giants will. Muhammad is someone that popped off to me when I was able to watch him. All right, so you select him at pick 105. You're back on the clock in round 5 at pick number 143, and I had the Giants selecting Jacoby Lane, the wide receiver who I thought put on a show at the NFL Combine. 6'4", 200 pounds, and he went through that gauntlet drill at the Combine where I was like, okay, this guy's easy catcher, smooth hands, runs well, and he tested well as on top of all of that. His relative athletic score was in the 96th percentile of all receivers that tested at the Combine and throughout Combine history. 6'4", 200 pounds, had a vertical jump of 40 inches, a broad jump of 10 plus, and a 40-yard dash of 4.4 at 6'4". I thought he was pretty productive for the Trojans this past year. 49 receptions for 745 yards, 15.2 yards per catch. He gets behind the defense. He can make plays down the field. He had 12 touchdowns in 2024. I want to see him be a little bit stronger at the catch point and play with a little bit more violence. I think that could happen as he continues to grow, mature, and grow into his body. But, man, in round 5, I would love the idea of Jacoby Lane being there. So you're back on the clock again in round 6, and I'm going to the offensive line. I have the Giants selecting the center, Logan Jones, out of Iowa with pick number 185. One thing I've learned is you can never go wrong taking offensive linemen out of Iowa. And Logan Jones was extremely productive for them throughout his collegiate career. He's played in almost every game, every single year. 13 games, 12 games, 12 games. And he is exclusively a center. And with the Giants maybe not knowing what the future is for John Michael Schmitz, maybe unable to bring back Austin Schlottman in free agency, I like the idea of drafting another center. A run block grade of 73. A pass block grade of 90.7. A really good pass blocker. I think he plays with good strength, has a good anchor. I sometimes on film maybe wonder if he has the elite athleticism to play at this level. But again, it's a 6th-round pick, and I'm willing to bet on an offensive lineman out of Iowa with that selection. Round 6, you're back on the clock in back-to-back picks, and I'm taking Oscar Delp, the tight end out of Iowa. He did have somewhat of a health scare at the NFL Combine, wasn't able to participate in drills, was noticed on an MRI or an X-ray that there was a hairline fracture in his foot. He played through it. He's expecting to test at the Georgia Pro Day, so I'm not too worried about that. But a tight end at 6'5", 245 pounds, that is extremely versatile. You go watch his tape, he'll line up in the backfield. He'll line up kind of in that H-back type of spot, motioning around, moving around. He is the type of guy that you want as a tight end 2 or a tight end 3. Underrated speed, good hands, a big-time recruit coming out of college. Never really found his footing as a go-to target in the passing game. But, man, Oscar Delp out of Georgia, I'm a big fan of his. I fell in love with him in the process a couple of weeks ago. I would love to have the Georgia tight end on the Giants. I think I said Iowa tight end, but I was talking about the offensive lineman. Oscar Delp went to Georgia. And with the last pick that the Giants have in their mock draft, I'm selecting Bryce Betcher, the inside linebacker out of Oregon. A guy that was drafted by the Houston Astros and played center field there. Played baseball at Oregon as well. And you can see the speed that he has to play center field. He uses that, and that translates to the football field as well. 6'2", 230 pounds, elite linebacker. Good in coverage as well. And he is physical inside the box. I was talking to my guy, Will Ortner, who covers the Oregon football team here at Chat Sports. He put me on a little bit of game. I like Bryce Betcher a lot. He's a leader. He's a captain, multi-sport athlete, someone that I think has the tools and traits to grow into being a down-in and down-out linebacker, and I'm willing to take a chance on him with pick number 192. So that is the first 7-round mock draft that we have. Caleb Downs goes number 5. Christian Miller goes number 37. Malik Muhammad, 105. Jacoby Lane, 143. Logan Jones at 185. Oscar Delp and Bryce Betcher close it out. Grade this mock draft for me. A, B, C, D, or F. I want to hear from you in the comment section. After going through my first exercise of a 7-round mock draft, I felt as if it was kind of tough. You don't pick from 37 until 104. That's just a huge gap. 70 picks go by. A lot of players that I wanted went in there, and that's why I think the Giants trade back. I asked Joe Schoen about it. I said, how do you balance trading back because you need the picks compared to sticking and picking because it's best and you have a player that you're in love with? He said, look, we're open to trading up. We're open to trading back. We're open to trading up. We're open for business. I think the Giants are going to have to add more picks, whether it means you trade down from 5, you trade down from 37. I'd be shocked if the Giants don't trade down in the NFL draft. Make sure you are following me over on social media. You can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_.